but yeah, if they've got the space capacity and they have experience manufacturing a similar product, and it has to be quite similar. It has to be an auto injector or a pen injector.
Yeah.
And they also have a history of collaboration with the pharma company. Then they've ticked all the major boxes. Everything else after that could be pretty much worked on.
Got it. Very last rapid fire, right? So, do you know on the QuickPen and SoloStar, right? So there's a bunch of potential generic entrants.
Yeah.
Do you have a forecast or best guesstimate as to what would be the volume mix between branded and generic in those categories, and what is going to be the price discount? If you don't, that's fine, huh?
I don't know, but certainly when I was working at Teva, the sort of, and this wasn't based on any sort of intellectual knowledge. This was just the general rule of thumb. That you could see a price erosion immediately of about 15 to 20%, and you would see a reduction in volume of about 40%.
40% in volume for the branded, yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be taken. So, and the erosion would be for the branded or at the whole category?
Sorry, it would be for the branded. So that's assuming that the same, 100% between the two of them, it would then become 60-40. So 60 brand, 40 generic, and that's pretty much immediate, and it would go down from there. But I've no experience of that.
Okay. And what about? So can you assume the same thing for the QuickPen?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So the fact that there's a lot of entrants in both those, there's a lot of generic coming in.
Yeah.
Do you think that this would change that dynamic? Right? Could you get to a higher share of generic, lower volume, more price erosion?
Yeah, I think so, because actually they sell a product all around the world, and some places are a lot more price sensitive than others. In the US, for instance, most reimbursement companies will be trying to switch over to a generic as soon as possible. Places like the UK will be, in Europe. So yeah, I think actually the erosion could be more significant. Probably not immediate, as I say. The 40% is pretty much immediate, because all of these generic companies will swamp the market immediately with launch stocks. But then it'll keep ticking down from there. You can imagine in 5 years, why would anyone want to buy the brand? But some people still insist on the branded product, because they feel much better with the branded product. It's the same as people taking Panadol instead of generic paracetamol. So it's people will always insist on it. So I think somewhere between the brand will keep about 60% initially, and then it will erode from there. But I would expect them to always keep a significant proportion.
Maybe 20%, no? Apparently, is the rule of thumb.
I would still expect more than that, but I don't know.
And does the category volume, the total, right? So today I sell 100. There's a bunch of generic entrants, so my share of the total changes. But does the total grow?
Well, I think the total's always going to grow, because you have growth in the insulin market.
But does it grow more because of price erosion?
No, it doesn't. I don't think price is a significant factor. It may grow in the US, to be fair, because there isn't a great use of injection pen devices in the US, because a lot of people are so price sensitive they will use a syringe. But even at any price, I think they'll still carry on using a syringe. But so you have a point. I could see it growing, but I think in the single digits. I think there's and that wouldn't be any larger than the natural growth of the market for insulin products anyway.
So the very last question in 2 minutes, because I have to jump off afterwards, right?
Is the branded products, competitive for this. So they will be launching new products like Tugeo and